So what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another zombies video on the channel where today we are doing another zombies Q&A. If there's any questions that you have that you want to ask for today's video, make sure you leave them down in the comments section below and I will try my best to answer them. If you enjoy a like rating anytime you feel like it would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies videos on the channel, and when you're ready, here we go. So first off, before I get into it, I just want to say thank you all so much for the support on the channel. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed, left a like, rating, a comment on any of my videos. YouTube right now seems to be in what I would call the YouTube depression. Views are down an awful lot, and subscribers as well. So I just want to say make sure you are supporting your favorite YouTubers, especially over this next month. As you know, with the problems on YouTube and what's been going on for about 6 months now, it can get a little bit hard sometimes, so I just wanted to mention that make sure you are supporting your favourite YouTube so no one disappears. And also I just want to ask you guys the question, views over the past week, literally for everyone on YouTube, have gone down an awful lot. I'm not exactly sure what I'd put that down to. I've been thinking that maybe it's people going back to school. I mean, if it's for you people going back to school, if you do go to school, let me know in the comments section below, does this mean that you can't watch as many videos or you don't watch as many as you usually would? Oh no, I just thought that'd be an interesting question. And as you know, we've still got almost 2 months to go, just under that, until we get to World War II Zombies, which is a game I am going to be covering. So when we do get to November 3rd, World War II Zombies, after that, more than likely the Black Ops 3 Zombies videos will stop there. So I've got like a month and a half to cover everything I want on Black Ops 3, and then from there on, we'll have World War II Zombies videos, and then hopefully around about May next year, we'll come back with Treyarch Zombies, which could be Black Ops 4 or whatever it's going to be called. So from November it should be really exciting, but for now, for a lot of people, things are a little bit hard on YouTube. So as I said, just make sure you are supporting them if you enjoy their content. Anyway, getting into the first question, it says, hey BOA, what do you play Zombies/GTA on? And also, why in Dead Ops Arcade does the gorilla say CCCP? Well, first off, when I used to do GTA videos, I played them on the Xbox One, and then since Black Ops 3 came out, I brought a PS4 and I do it all on that now. I used to be a massive Xbox fan, but I don't really play it as much now. I play more on the PS4. And as for the question, why does it say CCCP on the gorilla in Dead Ops Arcade? Well, I've done a full story video of this gorilla. If you want to check it out, I will leave it down in the comments section below. But the CCCP is the Soviet Union, and we can see it on the clothing, the spacesuit that the Cosmic Silverback's wearing in Dead Ops Arcade 2. The Russians launched this gorilla into space, and when it came crashing back down to Earth, it was infected, kind of similar to how we have the space monkeys in Ascension, just that this time instead of the Ascension group doing it, it was the Russians, and instead of small little monkeys, it was a big silverback gorilla. So there we go. The next question says, when you said there are multiple Richtofens in different universes, does that mean there are multiple Shadowmans or Shadowmen? Well, like we know, there are hundreds of universes out there. That means there are hundreds of different Richtofens. We can see in these Zombies comics when Richtofen reads the Canorian for the first time and he finds out about everything to do with him, he learns that there are hundreds of different versions of him out there on those different universes. But he also learns that each and every one of him dies. That each and every one of him in all of those universes out there is not a good ending for him. But nevertheless, there are multiple Richtofens, as we know. We already see quite a few in Zombies anyway, the Primus one, Undead, the original, the Origins one. But besides from them, there are many, many more. There are hundreds of thousands of Takios, Nikolais, Dempseys, Maxuses, Samanthas. So does that mean there are multiple Shadowmen? And that's a very interesting question, because you could say the same thing for Dr. Monty. Does that mean there are multiple Dr. Montys? And that'd be strange, because Dr. Monty is God. It seems like having thousands of him wouldn't make sense, because they'd all try to overpower one another. Because as we know, Dr. Monty doesn't specifically exist in a specific universe. At the end of the day, he is the one who created these universes. And so for that reason, we can say that there aren't multiple Dr. Montys. If you think of it this way, we are in our own universe, in our own galaxy, but we also know there are hundreds of other universes out there, other galaxies, other planets. And if we only have one god, that doesn't mean there are other gods for those other universes or planets. There's just one for all of them. And so for that, I'd say there's only one Dr. Monty, since he is the one who created Earth and these other planets, these universes. And saying that, since we know the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty were around at the same time, they've been here since the very beginning, before any planet was ever created. And so for that reason, we could say that there's only one Shadow Man as well. Just like there's one Dr. Monty, there's one Shadow Man. If there was more, they'd all probably try to overpower each other and it wouldn't work. So I'd say there's only one of these two powerful beings. Its logic says, why is Nacht der Untoten in Tranzit on Black Ops 2? Well, we can see in the cornfields on BO2 Tranzit, there is Nacht der Untoten. And when we first discovered this for the first time, it was a real mystery and everyone was really confused, asking the question, what the hell is Nacht doing here? Well, in the game, Nacht was actually called the prototype. And as we know, prototype means a version of a device from which other forms are developed. So I've had a look in the Canorium and I can't seem to find anything about it, but there's been a lot of theories for a very long time. Since it's called the prototype, we've assumed that this is a prototype of the original Nacht. As we know, Nacht der Untoten is set in Germany during the 1940s. It is a base on an airfield, and since Tranzit is set in the USA, specifically Washington, Hanford, we think that the American government set up a prototype of this building from Germany so they could use it as a test. They built this replica of the original Nacht, and then the US soldiers would infiltrate this, practice, so that when they go to the actual building, they know exactly which doors to go in, what to do, how to get in and out quickly whilst doing their mission. So we think the reason why we see it in Tranzit and also why it's called the prototype is because it was built by the US government so they could practice and figure out the layout of the actual building in Germany ready to infiltrate it. Of course, that's just one theory. Now with the fact that we know we have multiple universes out there, and especially with the fracturing of the Earth, Tranzit specifically, and as we know, what comes along with that is interdimensional convergences. With Richtofens travelling so much using teleporters, as we know, this began to distort things. Universes began to collide, the element 115, the thread that is holding each planet together, each universe together, began to break up, and so things from one universe began to merge with another. We see that specifically in Shadows of Evil with the Mob of the Dead plane merging into that map. It also merges into the Giants. So it could be that maybe the Nacht der Untoten universe has merged with the Tranzit universe and the building from Nacht has been displaced and appears in Tranzit. That could be another reason as to why we see it. But at the time, as we know, the whole fracturing of universes and distortion wasn't as significant and wasn't really as involved in the storyline as it is now. So I'm thinking that maybe the first one that I said is probably the answer, but for sure, we don't actually know. Rory Van Hoff says, who made the Scavenger? And that, my friend, would be Dr. Harvey Yeaner. As we know, he is an ex-American member of Group 935. And during his time working at Call of the Dead, he created the Scavenger. That is why the pack-a-punched version is called the Yeaner Infrared. The next question says, BOA, is the reason Eddie doesn't share toys because he used to want control of the zombies? Well, I think the reason Eddie doesn't share his toys with Samantha is because that is just who he is. As we know, Edward really is a selfish person. That is at least until he gets to know someone. As we know, all throughout the Black Ops 3 zombie storyline, he was only ever originally going to save himself. For a very long time, he only got the blood vials for himself, but eventually, in Zetsubo-no-Shima, after seeing the pain that the other characters had gone through, and after being with them for so long, Richtofens finally travelled to Mob of the Dead to collect blood vials for them to save them. But as we know, for the longest time, he only had blood for himself. So we can see that Edward is actually quite a selfish character, at least until he gets to know someone. And so since Eddie and Samantha hadn't been in the house for very long with each other, that could be one reason why Edward doesn't share his toys with her, because simply that's just how he is. We can't put it down to the fact that he doesn't want to share because he's used to wanting control over the zombies, because as we know, this version of Eddie is innocent. He has nothing to do with the zombie outbreak as of yet. His soul was collected from Dimension 2210. His soul was innocent, and so this version of Edward at this time didn't have anything to do with Group 935. he wouldn't have been in control of the zombies, so we can't put it down to that. It's just due to him naturally being a bit selfish, I guess. Anyway, there we go. That is all I have for you for today's video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, a like rating, if you haven't done it already, would be very much appreciated, but of course you don't have to if you don't want to. Subscribe if you haven't already. It would really help me out. Thank you guys for the support, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.